What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Matt. If you're new here, welcome. This channel, all we do is talk about laser engraving, different things that I do, and some laser printing. Well, not laser printing, 3D printing. I just got it, new to it. But I run a business doing this full time, and I have 2 lasers. My wife and I both do this full time. It's our only income coming in, and we love it, and we want to help you guys and help people do the same thing. Get out of the rat race. And we also have another channel. It's called Matt and Sara. And over there we show daily life thing, like what we do every day. 4 days a week we have videos. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then I do this one on Friday. So busy, yes. But today we're going to talk about laser engraving glass. So I'm getting a ton of people that I think are confused. So I want to make this very clear and detailed video as much as I possibly can. I get a lot of people that think you need a drill or a stainless brush to do glass, because otherwise when you go to wash it, it will not work and be very sharp. I haven't had that problem. I don't use a brush. I don't use the drill. All I use is a glass sanding pad. I have this link down below if you want to take a look at it. Shop around. You don't have to use my link. I'm just doing it to help you. These are all I use, okay? So I don't use this, and I'm going to go through why I don't, and I'm going to do examples, and we're going to test things out, and maybe this will shock me, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to. Okay, first off, the reason why I don't use this is because this is a stainless brush, all right? Now, I put it on the glass. What do you think that's going to do? That, I would think, is going to leave little tiny marks. And I also think you're going to get into the etching and you're going to chip the glass when it's coming out. So I've always used this. This is just, this is for lathe. I believe it's called lathe. Where they put glass in like a lathe and they smoothen it and buff it. That's what this is for. So after you engrave it, I take it out of the laser and I just sand it. That's it. And half the time you don't have to do anything. You can wipe it on your shirt and it's gone. It's fine. And I get a frosty look. You can do this with the epilogue that I have or a different CO2. I don't know. Well, the X tool's outside. I don't know about the X tool. I'm still going to do tests on that. On different ways to do glass, because what I found, all the testing I did on here is different shades of gray are a big difference. So let's just do it. Let's do a couple tests. So what I'm going to do is, let's see. I'm going to do it. I'm going to write what I'm going to do over here. We're going to do 2 samples, maybe 3. And then I'll have it engrave it at those different speeds, the ones I label it as. And then we'll sand it with this. And then we'll do this on it. So I have one more piece of glass that I'm going to do for this. We're going to use these because I have a couple of these that I'm okay with, using. So to see this good, I'm going to put it on here so you guys can see it a little better. So we got both. You see that? This one looks fine. It's going to be hard. Okay, so this is the one that we did first. You can see the speeds, number 1 and 2. I'm going to take the, what is it called, the metal brush. We're going to take that and we're going to rub across both of them. And I'm going to try not to hit my fingers. So let's see how this is going to go. Oh, that sound! Oh! I am not doing that. Why would anyone want... That's like nails on a chalkboard. Ugh. Good thing that test is over with. Okay, so I have a lot of shards. I'm going to wipe that off into my sink. Alright, can you see this? Let's go like this. Do you see how it is all very, like, look at how it took the engraving off even. It just chipped it. Okay, so this looks like absolute. I'm going to put my finger across this and I'm expecting to get glass shards in it. And you'll see my face because I know this is going to be sharp. Now, the difference between the both of them, number 2 has a little bit more chipped out of it. And so that one was the darker color, darker shade. And I'll get into that in a minute, the different shades. This one doesn't have as much chipped out of it compared to this one. Yeah, that's they're both the same for sharpness, but it's not like they're cutting me. So it's like it pulverized it, and there's still fine dust all over. Alright, that test is done. Just hold on. Now, we're going to do the one. This is how I do it every day. I gotta put the towel back on so you guys can see it. Now, this is the one. This is how I engrave, is number 1. And number 2 is not how I engrave. That's faster and darker shade. I'll get into that in a minute. Just give me a minute. Well, probably less than a minute. Maybe a minute. If I keep saying a minute, maybe it'll be longer in a minute. Alright. We're going to take my sanding piece, like I always use. Grab it. It doesn't sound like nails on a chalkboard whatsoever. Number 2, you can feel chunks leaving it. So... But that's the shade. Man. Alright. Take a look at that. Look at number 1. Now look at number 2. Number 2 has some spots that are chipped out of there, but nothing like major. Not compared to the other one. Not compared to this one. Let's see. Yeah, number 2, it's just little on top of the P where the speed is. Right on the top of the P and S. There's a little bit that's out of there. But that's about it. There's really nothing else. So, looks good. Now, one more test. This is the other thing that people are telling me. Yes, it's a dirty mess. It's a bunch of testing. I do a lot of testing before I sell product. People are saying if I wipe it down the way I do it, once it goes in the dishwasher or you wash it, it's really sharp. Really. Send me to the hospital. I better go right now. My hand's bleeding. It is not. Okay, I don't know where people are getting that. And whenever it's wet, see how it goes away? It's not as dark. As soon as it gets dry, it all comes back. I don't know why people think that it goes in the dishwasher and then all this comes off. This does not come off. So I'm going to dry this. Best of my capability. And show you it looks the same. See that? There's no chipping. Nothing. It looks so good. like me. So the one with the brush, I would call that one a fail. Good thing it didn't break. My boy, Sarah would have been pissed. All right, now I have a little dust mark right. There we go. Okay, that one's a fail. Now this one with the sanding disc, how do I do that? It's a win. All right, so now to get in the nitty gritty. To get into the nitty gritty, number one is the speed I normally do. The other thing I can do on my laser, and a lot of people can't do, is I can change the dithering. So I can put it on, I believe it's Jarvis, which is funny because we were just watching Marvel movie. Anyways, so you can put on Jarvis, and then it cleans it up even more. It has a more of a frosty look. But I don't want to do that because not all the lasers have that option. So I want to show you guys what you can do, what I used to do before I had these wonderful lasers. So number 2 was with the darkest one, okay? We have chips on it. Number 1 was with, it would be the darkest, and then another light one, and then the other light one. So third total. The number 3 one over is shade K80. Now that one was better. So what I found with these lasers, when you if you don't have dithering, you can take the shades of gray of your colors and you can have it go to a different shade of gray, and that's going to do your dithering. So like you got, imagine a series of holes all over in a really tight little area. If you make those holes go out this far, it's going to look better versus going like this. Now, if you have them going like this, they're overlapping, that's where you're going to get your chipping, okay? There's really no other, I don't know how else to explain it. It's basically it. Like, you want them to spread out. You don't want them overlapping and tight because they're going to chip. You have more heat concentrated. You want to spread that heat out. And that's how you get your frosting. And the other thing is, if you look at it, like I don't have it on here, but if you look at it and it almost looks like it got wet, like one of the letters aren't as frosty, slow your speed down. So like if you're going on this, I was doing 30%. If that started happening to me, because every glass is different, but once you have it dialed in, you can get it pretty quick. Like all my wine glasses, pints, what else was there? The beer mugs, this kind of mug, they all come out pretty much, that's the speed I do. If I do it on these in picture frames, I actually like to go to 25 speed and not 30. But for this example, I was trying to actually get it to where I couldn't see, or I could see that one of the letters were that light color, but it didn't do it. So, but by changing, so changing the shade is huge. And then if you get where it's doing a little slight chip or anything, slow your speed down. And I always go by 5. Now, if you're too slow and you slow it, or yeah, if you're going too slow already and you go down to 5, you're going to get excessive chipping. So then you have to go up. And it's a 5, I feel like 5% is a good balance on how much you should go, because you can't go really too far. Like you can read it versus going, 20 at a time, because you might miss the window in there. But that's all I do for frosting, and I get so many comments about people using wire wheel brushes on drill, and I threw that other piece away. And then on the brush, wire steel brush, don't do that. You don't need to. There's no reason to. Let the laser do its work. Normally when I do these, when it comes out, I rarely have to get this, or if you do hit it with this, it's like barely does anything. Hopefully it works for you, and it should. If you have any questions, put it in the comments. If this works for you, put it in the comments. Tell me. It works for me, and if it doesn't work for you, I'd like to know what laser you have and what you're doing, because I'll figure it out. I did it with this. I did it with, well, be 3 different lasers, so you can do it. It's pretty easy. Yeah, I don't know. Glass is like the easiest thing and the fastest. For me, it's the fastest because there's no cleanup. There's nothing really else to it. It looks just slick and pristine when you're done if you do it right. So, hope this helps. If it does, hey, give it a thumbs up. Help me out a little. Hey, whatever. If you don't, you don't. I don't care. Give me a thumbs down. Hope you enjoyed the day. Glad you got to see me again. Bye.